Chosen one, stop everything you are doing right now. I need your complete attention for what I am about to reveal. This isn't casual content you can half listen to while scrolling through your phone. This requires your full presence and your undivided focus. Because what I discovered about you while preparing this message made me pause for several minutes in absolute silence. You did something recently, and I am not talking about something you planned, rehearsed, or calculated to impress anyone. I am talking about something that came so naturally from the depth of who you are that you didn't even realize the spiritual earthquake you cause in dimensions your human eyes cannot perceive. Your attitude left God impressed, and not just impressed in a casual way. Impressed in a way that made Archangel Michael, the commander of celestial armies, and the warrior who defeated Lucifer himself, stop what he was doing and turn his attention specifically to you, because what you demonstrated wasn't supposed to be possible. Not from someone who's been through what you've been through, not from someone carrying the weight you've been carrying, and not from someone who had every logical reason to respond completely differently. But you didn't respond the way they expected. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications, because what I am about to reveal about the exact moment that made heaven pause to observe you is going to permanently change how you understand every struggle you have faced and every silent battle you have won without anyone acknowledging your victory. Stay until the end, because I am going to show you exactly what attitude you demonstrated that caught divine attention, why Archangel Michael specifically requested to review your case, and what this means for everything that is about to unfold in your life. Write 777 in the comments if you have felt lately like something shifted inside you, as if you crossed an invisible line that separated you from who you used to be. Let me explain something that will help everything else make sense. In the celestial realms, there are countless souls being observed at any given moment. Angels are assigned protection, guidance, and observation. Most human behavior follows predictable patterns. People react to pain with bitterness, respond to betrayal with revenge, and answer injustice with anger. These patterns have remained consistent for thousands of years. But occasionally, very rarely, a soul demonstrates something so unexpected and so contrary to human nature that it creates what can only be described as a moment of celestial wonder. You created one of those moments. It wasn't long ago. It happened during one of your most difficult recent experiences, when you were facing something that felt specifically designed to break you, when the weight on your shoulders seemed impossible to carry for another day, and when everyone around you would have understood if you had simply given up or responded with the darkness that was being directed at you. But you did something different. And here is what you need to understand. I am not talking about simply surviving. Many people survive through stubbornness or because they have no other option. That doesn't catch celestial attention. What you did was extraordinary. What you did was extraordinary. You faced a situation where you had every right to be bitter, every justification to hold on to anger, and every reason to let resentment consume you. The person or circumstance that hurt you had genuinely wronged you. This wasn't an imagined offense. It was real pain inflicted by real situations. In that moment, when your human nature was urging you to respond with the same energy you received, and every logical part of your brain was calculating revenge, or at least cold withdrawal, something deeper within you made a different choice. You chose grace when you had earned the right to choose destruction. Do you remember? It might have been a conversation where you could have said something devastating, but chose silence instead. It might have been an opportunity to expose someone's failures, but you protected them anyway. It might have been a moment when you could have walked away and no one would have blamed you, but you stayed and kept trying. That exact moment when you chose differently than your pain demanded was when heaven noticed. What you demonstrated in that instant revealed something about the composition of your soul that sets you apart from most of humanity. You prove that your responses are not controlled by your circumstances, that your character is not determined by how others treat you, and that who you are remains consistent regardless of what you face. This is extraordinarily rare. Most humans are reactive beings whose behavior mirrors their environment. Treat them well, and they respond well. Treat them poorly, and they respond poorly. Their character fluctuates based on external conditions. But you demonstrated something different. You prove that your character is internally anchored and that no external circumstance, no matter how painful, can force you to become someone you do not want to be. This is precisely what caught divine attention. Let me take you to the moment this was observed. Not in human time as we understand it, but in the celestial observation that occurs continuously over chosen ones like yourself. Your guardian angel had been watching your situation unfold, documenting your responses, and recording your internal struggles and external choices. This is standard protocol for souls under celestial protection. But when you made that choice, when you responded with grace instead of justified anger, your guardian angel did something unusual. They flagged your case for higher review. This doesn't happen often. Guardian angels handle most situations within their own authority and only escalate when they observe something that needs to be seen by higher ranks. Your case was escalated directly to Archangel level. When the report reached Archangel Michael, he was initially occupied with matters of cosmic significance, battles being fought in dimensions humans cannot perceive, and strategic operations affecting the spiritual climate of entire regions. But when he saw your file flagged, he paused because the note attached to your case immediately captured his attention. It said, "This soul demonstrated enemy-level forgiveness while under active attack." Enemy-level forgiveness is a rare concept. In spiritual warfare, there is a classification system for different types of human responses to pain. Most responses fall into predictable categories, such as revenge, bitterness, withdrawal, and depression. These are common and expected because they follow established patterns. But there's a rare category called transcendent response. This occurs when a person responds to evil with good, answers hatred with love, and chooses blessing over curse while actively being wounded. This response type is so uncommon that it is automatically flagged for Archangel review because it indicates a soul operating at a level that transcends normal human capacity. You trigger that flag. Michael reviewed your entire recent history, every situation you faced, every response you gave, and every internal battle you fought that no one else could see. What he found made him request something extraordinary. He requested a direct audience to discuss your case. Now, let me be clear about what this means. Archangel Michael commands armies. He has responsibilities that span dimensions, and his attention is constantly required for matters of universal significance. For him to request time specifically to discuss a single human soul means that soul demonstrated something remarkable enough to warrant that level of attention. The discussion that followed would change how your case is handled from this point forward. For those who want to go deeper into understanding how chosen ones operate under this kind of celestial attention, there's exclusive material in the description and pinned comment. Here is what was discussed about you at the highest levels. Michael presented your case to the Divine Council not as a problem to be solved or a situation requiring intervention, but as an example of something extraordinary occurring in the human realm. He showed them the exact moment you chose grace. He replayed the internal struggle you experienced, demonstrating how your human nature was pulling you in one direction while something deeper within you chose another. Then he revealed your history, because that moment of grace was not isolated. It was part of a consistent pattern of choosing the harder right over the easier wrong, maintaining integrity when no one would know if you compromised, and extending kindness to people who neither deserved it nor appreciated it. This pattern revealed something that made even experienced celestial beings pause in recognition. You have been operating as a chosen one without realizing you were chosen. What impressed them was not a single great act, but your consistent choice of greatness without recognition, reward, or guarantees that your actions mattered. You repeatedly did the right thing simply because it was right in both major and minor situations, whether it was easy or whether it cost you everything. That unwavering integrity separated you from the ordinary and marked you for extraordinary purpose. Then God spoke, not with an audible voice, but through a divine impression that communicated clearly to all present. What was conveyed about you was profound. This one reminds me why I created humans. Let that settle within you. The creator of everything, the one who spoke galaxies into existence and designed every atom in the universe, looked at your pattern of choices, your integrity, and your grace under pressure, and saw in you a reflection of humanity's highest potential. You demonstrated something even angels cannot demonstrate. Angels exist in constant awareness of divine glory. Their obedience comes from direct experience of divine reality. Humans, however, live behind a veil. You cannot see God directly or perceive the spiritual realm with your physical senses. Yet you chose faith without proof, integrity without immediate reward, and grace without certainty that it mattered. You chose rightly while blind, maintained faith while unable to hear divine confirmation, and acted with love without knowing whether your response would make any difference. This is what fascinates angels and what caused Archangel Michael to study your case so carefully. You demonstrated the unique quality that distinguishes human souls in all creation: the ability to choose light while surrounded by darkness, faith while engulfed in doubt, and love while drowning in pain. What surprised Michael most was not your potential, but how quickly you accessed it. When he first received your file months ago, he saw your gifts, recognized your calling, and noted your potential. Yet he expected your spiritual maturity to unfold according to normal timelines, after more victories, more training, and more visible confirmations. He did not expect you to demonstrate such advanced spiritual strength while still enduring one of the most difficult seasons of your life. That moment when you chose grace over justified anger was more than a moral decision. It became a strategic victory over forces working against you. The goal of darkness is always to pull a person down into bitterness, anger, and retaliation. When someone responds to hatred with hatred, they step onto the enemy's ground. Every attack aimed at you sought to make you operate from that lower place. But when you responded with grace and love, you overturned the entire strategy. Instead of allowing negativity to define you, you transformed the situation through your response. Michael watched this unfold with deep admiration because what you demonstrated was not a learned technique or trained behavior. It emerged from your true nature. You are inherently gracious, deeply forgiving, and fundamentally loving, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. What astonished him was not that you possessed this potential, but that you expressed it so fully, so early, and under such difficult conditions. You exceeded every projection for your development. The evidence of this recognition has already begun appearing in your life, even if you did not understand what was causing it. First, attacks have been backfiring. People who intended harm, spoke against you, or worked against your interests have often found their own situations becoming complicated and unstable. Second, you have experienced unusual peace despite difficult circumstances. Situations that should have overwhelmed you somehow failed to crush your spirit. You discovered calm in the middle of chaos and stability when everything around you seemed uncertain. Third, clarity has been increasing. Decisions that once confused you now seem easier to understand. Direction that once felt hidden is becoming clear. Insights and intuitive understandings arrive with greater frequency